All right, we should be filming now.
Okay, here we are.
Hold on a second. Let me just want to double check. We are. So we'll just start it from here. Don't worry.
Okay, we ready?
Let's look at the position. Yeah, I'm going to get a little sun glare.
Much about that shit.
What?
Okay, let's go.
All right, go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, let's see. What is today? It is now Monday.
Start doing those weird faces you do
It's
when you do a video. He always
October
does these weird
14th.
faces. Like, just relax. Be yourself, for God's
I
sake.
am. It's October 14th, and we are in beautiful Tallahassee, Florida, enjoying lovely weather.
Stop acting so stiff. You're so
I'm not acting
stiff.
stiff. I'm
Just
just talking.
talk to me. We're here because we had to run from a hurricane. The second hurricane in 2 weeks.
I'm
This
trying
one
to
was
put everything
Milton.
in context, though.
We're in Tallahassee at Mike, my nephew's house, Mike, and Sue, my niece-in-law. We're at their home. They have a lovely 4-acre spread here, Tallahassee, out on the outskirts. And they have a little cottage, a little guest cottage, which
We're
they
on
were kind
Old St.
enough.
Augustine Road.
You don't need to be too specific,
Why?
because maybe they don't want you giving out their address to everybody.
It's an Airbnb. I'm not giving out the address.
They don't give out the address on Airbnb either. Not if you book it.
I'm not giving the address. I'm just saying where it is. It's a long road.
Well, let's not use their last name then. Anyway, we're here. It's a lovely place, and the cottage could not have been more comfortable. We've been here now. It's day 10. Isn't it? Day 10?
No,
What day is it? Day 8?
day 8.
Sorry, day 8. And we'll probably be here another couple of days, I think. But it's been great being here, but it's been very stressful. So getting here was stressful. Of course, we had 3 animals in tow. But why don't you tell them what happened?
Well, one thing we learned was evacuation is the best advice in a situation like this, because we are both in flood zones and evacuation zones.
And whose advice was it that you took
seriously,
about?
you gotta get a pat on our back now.
Whose evacuation advice did you take on this? Who gave
I
you
had
advice?
suggested we could leave on Monday, and the storm was supposed to come in Wednesday night to Thursday morning. She said we should go on Sunday so we would avoid the traffic and everything. Well,
right.
we ended up leaving on Sunday, and sure enough, we did avoid the traffic.
That is correct.
There was a mass exodus on Monday, and so we would have run into.
This is because people like to do things on Monday. No, they think it's the beginning of the week. Nobody likes to do anything on Sunday night. Everybody likes to relax on Sunday night, but we didn't relax. Got in the car with
Anyway.
the 3 animals, and we drove all night in the rain. Well, not all night, but till about 11:30.
I'm just.
And thank goodness we did, because everybody got on the road on Monday morning, and they used up all the gas.
And so trying to go back now, gas has been an issue, and we still don't have power.
I have no power,
So
but
hopefully tomorrow.
I can't complain because both of our homes are okay. And the first storm that came through, which was Helene, which was 2 weeks ago, many of our neighbors got flooded by like as much as 2.5 feet of water in their homes. Fortunately, we both missed getting water in our homes. I missed it by 1 inch, truly 1 inch.
11 inches for
Benny
me.
missed it by 11 inches, but that's because he's up about 2 feet. If he'd not been up 2 feet, he would have been flooded for sure. So we got lucky there. And then this last was supposed to be a direct hit on Tampa. They were saying 10 to 15 foot surge, which now we know was a bit of an exaggeration. But it did hit just south of Sarasota at Siesta Key, and they did get a lot of surge. But we missed the surge, and so we were very lucky. We also missed the wind. No trees
Well, we
came
got a lot
down.
of wind damage though in the area.
We didn't.
In the cities, anyway, Tampa and St. Pete both
The
had a lot of
cities
tree
did,
fall,
but we
which is
didn't.
part of the power outage issue.
A lot of trees down. So I've been here with Benny now for 8 days. And he's a handful, I have to say,
Just ready to go back.
because he's a very anxious person.
I'm not used to sitting around.
He's not accustomed to relaxing. He doesn't know what to do with himself. So he just yells most of the time.
No, I
They
still want
do.
to see what my house looks like.
But he gets upset about every little thing.
Right.
I try to remind him that you should be very grateful. Shouldn't be upset about anything, because everything went really well for us. And we were
Yes,
here in this place where
we are
Mike is
grateful,
letting
like-
us basically stay here rent
These
free.
are beautiful grounds, I was going to say. It's a
2-bedroom,
lovely-
kitchen, little patio. Not patio.
I thought this
little
outside
utility room.
area was lovely. A lovely
Very nice.
spot, little lean-to
It's-
over here.
Oh, one thing though we didn't mention. The only downside to staying out here in the country is Mike has a bear. And we haven't seen the bear, but we know he's around because he got in the recycle bin and took Benny's precious protein powder.
Empty container.
An empty container protein powder. And Benny found the container somewhere out here on the property,
About
all
50
big,
feet away.
all battered up, like a bear was trying to get in it.
A Yogi Bear.
And so
I have seen 6 deer here, though, since we've been here in the morning.
it's very
And they
pretty.
go scampering across. It's quite lovely.
What a
The weather's
beautiful
been
place.
fantastic. One thing that's really the biggest benefit to not going back, in addition to not having power and dealing with gas, is that the temperature here has been in the 60s and 70s. Actually got up to 80, but it's so
Plus,
much more
we have
pleasant.
no electricity at home. That's another real incentive not to go home.
It's been very pleasant, the temperature.
Has
So,
been. There's a lot of bugs out here, I will say.
but it's a lovely
But
place.
I will ask you, Benny, what has been your favorite thing about evacuating?
Favorite thing.
Yeah, what's been the best thing that you've enjoyed while
Probably
you've
staying
evacuated?
here. Probably staying here has been the best thing.
Not being here with me, because I'm a lot of fun to be
Yes,
around.
of course, and that too. The lovely company.
You sound a little bit sarcastic when you
Plus the
said that.
2 dogs and a cat. And the cat has been fine now that he's here, but it was a harrowing trip.
Yes, it
And I'm
was.
sure it'll be a harrowing trip on the way back because he doesn't travel well.
The cat did every form of evacuation of himself that he could on the trip. First, he urinated in the car.
I need one more.
Then he pooped in the car. And then he threw up in the car. Fortunately, I had him in a crate, and he was in a little cat bed that soaked up a lot of the excrement. But it wasn't pleasant to stop along the road in the rain at night to try to keep it from, spreading. But that was harrowing. That was probably the hardest part of the journee, was dealing with the
It
cat.
was.
The cat did not enjoy the drive, obviously.
I'm glad the cat was in her car, not in mine.
Like that would have ever happened. You would have ever let the cat in your car.
But we've had dinner with Marion and Jim.
Oh yeah, let's talk about 10 people we've seen.
We saw a dinner with Mike
So who
and
was the
Sue.
first person we saw when we got here?
Well, probably Savannah.
Who ate all the crackers? Did I eat all the crackers?
No, I ate some too.
How many?
I don't know, 3 or 4.
Oh my God, I ate about 8 of those. I've eaten about 10 of them.
We'll know when we look back at the video.
Oh my God. I ate almost all the
We're going to
I'm
count all the
starving.
crackers that she
I'm
ate.
starving.
We ran into Savannah first, I think,
Oh yeah, Savannah was the first
at the
person.
Dollar Tree.
That's right. Savannah was the first person, little Savannah, my great niece, who ran into her at the Dollar Tree. We're getting supplies, which was very coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Then who did we see after that? Who was next?
Oh, I don't remember.
You don't? Must have been Mama.
Yeah, I think we went to your house, your mother's house.
Did we see Mike and Sue before that?
Ah,
I don't think we did.
no, you spoke to Mike, but we didn't see Mike until later on when we had the internet problem. But
Was that before or after we went to see Mom?
after
You sure?
the first day? Remember, it was the first day.
Maybe. Anyway, we saw my mother, my sister, her husband. Then the next day we saw Mike and Sue because we had internet problems, and it was a remarkable thing that happened. The
And we saw their house.
The
We got to see
internet
their
went
house.
out. Sue and Mike are, I don't know if it's illegal. Might not be illegal, but it's probably not. It's probably frowned upon. But
No, they're
they
just
are.
running it from their house because they can't
They're
get it
running the
separated here.
internet line from their house out to the cottage because they're having some sort of disagreement with their cable provider
Yeah, they were having trouble
about-
getting it set up here.
about them getting it set up in the cottage. So they've run this line, but their house is, 200 feet from the little cottage. So they ran this line, and for day one of me working, the lawn mowing people came and they totally mowed over the line. So anyway, so we lost power for all day on the internet. And so then that night, remarkably, Sue said, "Oh, I've got a cable. I've got another cable." I'm like, "What? There's no way you've got another cable that's 200 feet long." But sure enough, she sure did.
Yeah,
And they hooked it up, and we're back in business.
yeah.
That was kind of interesting.
The house was lovely. I hadn't seen it in 10 years, but
Mike
the kitchen was all updated.
Yeah, they've redone
nicely.
their kitchens. Very nice.
The grounds were beautiful. They put a pool in,
They have a
which
nice
is very
pool
nice.
here, which we've
And
not
the backs-
used, but they've been welcome to use it. We just haven't. We didn't bring our swimsuits either.
It's been actually cool though, but and it backs up to Southwood, which is really nice because they have lovely
Don't
sidewalks
tell
and
too
trails.
much information again. You're giving me too much.
Nope.
About their
Jesus
location.
Christ.
Well, their location. That's the real Benny. You just saw the real Benny
He's
right
being
there.
silly.
Is he's not making that face he makes when he does video. He really does that
What?
face.
Get out of here.
Or he does, he likes to punch certain words.
Yeah,
Like, he
what's
must
wrong
have
with
heard that, but it's so artificial.
It's
I
not
much prefer
artificial.
the natural Benny. The natural Benny is much more appealing.
She's always a critic.
No, but I'm
Always
just
a
telling
critic.
you, when you're yourself, always authentically yourself, you're more.
That is. I'm also doing it like that.
No,
That's
you're not. Then when you do those videos, you are anything but authentic. You look like you've been reading some kind of tips on how to do a video, and it just
No,
doesn't come across
no.
as genuine at all.
Not at all.
Just act like you're talking to somebody.
I did.
You are now.
I do
Then
there
you
too.
weren't. No, you don't.
I do.
You take a look at yourself, and I think you'll see that you don't look like yourself. You look like some person I've never met. I don't even. I'm like, who is that person? I know you very well. Anyway, the other thing that we did was we ran into. Well, we didn't run into. We planned it. A surprise visit to Val Sands, my good friend Val Sands, who was having an estate sale. Her brother passed away recently, and I showed up there to see her. And she seemed very surprised, and I was so happy to see her because I hadn't seen her in ages. And then we had dinner with Marion and Jim, which was and we had lunch with Gail and Steve
at the
Mexican place, Olay, and it was delicious. We had a delicious Mexican lunch and margaritas.
You had a margarita, no?
I did have a margarita. It was good. And it was fun to see them, as always. And then I saw Gladys and Heather. We had TV Club as scheduled, but I got to actually go and be with them. Normally, I do it online with them. We had our TV Club together. And who else? Anybody else that we saw? Oh, and then we went to see Savannah again on Saturday. She did her clogging. She's a clogger. I used to be a
yesterday
clogger.
and Sunday. We saw her yesterday too. Oh, you mean? Oh, you're talking about the
We went to the clogging out in this place
Mill Creek
out
Ranch.
near Maclay Gardens. No.
Was it Mill Creek?
Maclay
Milford
Gardens?
Ranch?
Near Maclay Gardens.
Yeah, it was in
Maclay
Mill-
Gardens? Yeah, Maclay
Yeah,
Gardens.
there's Mill Creek
Out near Maclay
Ranch.
Gardens,
What was the name?
Millstone.
Millstone Ranch.
Millstone Farm. It was
Millstone
very
Farm.
nice, a beautiful area. Didn't even know existed. And we got to see her do clogging. I got to see her clog instructor. He used to be my clogging instructor, and that was fun. And then, of course, we saw Mama again. We've seen Mama almost every night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do my Mama imitation. You want me to do my Mama imitation?
Do you like?
This is the conversation we have every visit. We have this conversation about 10 to 20 times throughout the visit. It goes something like this. When did you get here? I got here just now, Mama. You did? Where'd you come from? Well, I came from Tampa. How long you staying? That's always he's always worried about, am I going to stay long
Or
enough to see her? Well, how long you staying? Oh, I don't know, Mom. Maybe, a couple of days. Well, you going to stay all night with us? And she always wants you to stay all night, even though it's 11 o'clock at night. And I'll say, well, Mom, I'm staying over at Mike's because he's got a place over there. Why are you staying over there? Why don't you stay with us? And I'll say, because he has room for our animals, and there's 2 bedrooms over there. Why can't you stay here with us? Well, because Mike has the space we need. I don't understand. And I'll try to explain it to her that we were running from a storm, and she'll finally go, okay, all right. And then about 10 minutes later, she'll say, when did you get here? And we started all over again. And then when the time comes to say goodnight, it's very difficult because she doesn't want you to leave. She wants you to stay and stay all night with us. So you go through the whole thing over and over. I must have told her, I don't know, 40 times last night why we were here and where we were staying and when we were leaving and why we were staying where we were staying and why we couldn't spend the night with her.
Well, she looks good though. She looks good. She looks healthy.
She's 90, almost 98 years. She'll be 98 in a couple of months. What, 3 months?
She definitely does, but she did remember my name anyway.
She remembered your name. She did. She remembered your first and last name.
She was so she was very pleasant. I think she looks, for her age and everything, I think she's pretty good. She's comfortable. It looks like she's comfortable. So.
Yes. And she speaks her mind. and she's, you know,
And she sleeps a lot.
she sleeps about 20 hours out of the day, probably altogether. But what have you didn't tell me what your favorite thing? Your favorite thing was staying here. That's been your favorite thing about being here.
Yes, and I've enjoyed the weather, and I've liked.
Have you enjoyed being in Tallahassee?
Yeah, it's nice, but I'm ready to go back home.
Why? Do you prefer Tampa to Tallahassee? I mean, St. Pete to Tallahassee?
I do, in a way.
Why? In what ways do you prefer?
In normal ways, I do. As
like,
far
what's
as
what do you mean in normal ways? I don't know what you mean.
in everyday life, I do.
What does that mean?
As far as the hurricane situation,
You don't.
I'm not
prefer
so
it.
sure.
What is it about St. Pete that you think is better than Tallahassee?
Well,
from
I
your
work
vantage
there.
point?
I have a house there. I'm comfortable there. I've been there for 10 years. I like it. It's got everything. You know, I know my way around and everything.
There's nothing
got a
that you like
business
more. There's
there.
nothing you
I
like
got the
more.
grandkids there.
There's nothing that you like more about Tallahassee than St. Pete. Nothing.
Well, I like, you know, the scenery here is nice. I mean, it's
very nice.
It's very hilly.
Trees, beautiful trees.
Although the
everywhere.
trees are an issue with hurricanes, but nevertheless,
Well, they are, but it's
the threat
pretty.
of hurricane here is less, though, I think, than St. Pete.
Yeah, it is, but also it's a prettier town.
It's smaller, of course, and it's you know, but it's.
I mean, there are parts of St. Pete that are pretty, but just generally, and Tampa certainly is prettier than Tampa. Tampa is a concrete jungle. Tampa has pretty spots, but not a lot of them. It's kind of just one quickie mart after another, and strip clubs and you know, commercial stuff. It's not a pretty town, and people aren't particularly nice in Tampa. I'll just say it. They're not as friendly in Tampa. They're not as friendly. I'm not saying everybody.
I didn't know you felt that way.
Not everybody, but it's not as friendly a town as Tallahassee. Tallahassee's a more friendly town, I think, generally speaking.
I see.
It's my observation. Although my neighbors I like very much in Tampa. I would say for me, the best thing about evacuating was I've got to see some people I haven't seen in a
Yeah,
while.
I've seen several people.
It makes me very happy. I like being in Tallahassee. I always like Tallahassee a lot. I've enjoyed being in the little cottage here. It's been very peaceful.
It's
been
conveniently
a
located.
sanctuary in terms of being stressed out about maybe potentially losing our home.
Yes.
But I'm going to say this about evacuating. Here are my thoughts about evacuation. You should do it. Not because you might not survive the storm. You probably will survive the storm. That more than likely, you know, even in a terrible storm, most people survive.
Although people had their cars damaged and were sitting right out in their driveway. Another reason not to do
But
it.
the reason is the aftermath. It's not even about the storm itself, which you might survive. It's the aftermath of having no electricity, no place to go to cool off, no
Didn't
place
have
to
clean
go to
water.
eat, no
They had
place
to
to go
do-
to get anything to eat,
They had boiled water alerts.
nothing to do.
Sewage treatment,
Treatment
water
backups,
treatment plants.
not being able to flush your toilet or take a shower or
Well, stores are
drink
closed,
the water.
restaurants are
Everything's closed.
Gas is
Gas is in
impossible
short
to
supply.
get.
Everybody is upset and at the end of their rope. And it's just, you know what? Why do you want to be down there for that? Everybody, the minute we hear you're in the cone, you should just say, let's go take a vacation somewhere we've always wanted to go and get out of here. I mean, why stick around for it? Doesn't make any sense. Just pack your car. Here's my tips. Pack your car with your pets, obviously. Pack your car with your documents that you might need, any documents that you might, like your insurance policy, vital records like your birth certificate, stuff like that. I also would say my divorce papers. That was important. I didn't pack. Wish I had. Passports, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, social security card, photographs,
birth certificate, stuff like
photographs,
that.
videos that you might have. That you have the old videos.
I took jump drives and stuff.
Then, of course, your most precious items, the things that are irreplaceable to you. I actually stood.
There's
in my,
a lot, though, I wish I had. That
I actually
didn't
stood in
bring.
my closet and I said, "What are my 10 favorite dresses?" And as impractical as they might have been, I packed them because I was like, I don't want to lose these dresses. I only brought
I
three
didn't do it
pairs.
that way.
I only bought 3 pairs of shoes. That was stupid. I should have put every shoe I had in a bag because they don't
I
take
didn't
up
bring
that
any.
much
I
space.
didn't bring any kind of jacket or coat. That's the only
That's the
thing.
other thing. Think about, like, if you
got a
were to
little
lose your
cooler.
home, you're going to need something for all 4 seasons
And had we
for a
if we
while,
had to be gone
especially
longer, we need
the
more clothes.
upcoming season of being cold.
I bought a pair of jeans and some dress shoes.
That's figures.
Dress shoes, but I didn't have any dress pants for them. So
Well,
that
if they
was
were a
silly.
favorite pair of dress shoes, then I would say, yeah, that's a good idea. I brought my banjo because that's precious
Yeah, but I left
to
a couple
me.
other shoes I wish I had.
I brought my fine jewelry. I brought pieces of my favorite costume jewelry. You know, just think about those things that really matter to you, the things that you can't replace. Sometimes people actually load up a U-Haul, but that wouldn't have worked for us. We didn't have time. But you'll forget things. And then, of course, you put everything up high before you leave. But I mean, that's all you can do. That's all you can do is just, take with you the things you feel you can't replace.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to go home after 8 days. I just want to find out what's going on.
I'd be all right staying here another couple of days.
Well, we're going to have to stay probably at least another day for sure.
Yeah,
maybe.
So I think Wednesday
Although I'd be willing to
morning,
leave tomorrow
maybe.
if we could
Wednesday
find
morning
out.
may be the time to go, unless power's not on, in which case we'll go Thursday, because they're promising Thursday, which will be a
For your
week from when
power,
the storm.
tomorrow, Tuesday for mine, tomorrow.
I bet they don't have it on. You never know. There could be a wire directly to your house that got damaged, and it could have the power on everywhere but your house. That could
I
happen.
don't know, but I do want to make sure my power's on. Absolutely.
Oh, I don't want to go.
Don't really want to go for that without power.
So, all in all, we're very fortunate, and this has been a very relaxing time. It's been great. It's good that we had a place to
vacation.
go.
A weird mini vacation.
But I would recommend the minute you see her in the cone, just say, look, if you've been planning a trip to somewhere, just take it. Take that trip. Take it for 10 days. Go and then come back. I mean, that would be my advice. Why stick around? Because this wasn't even this didn't hit as bad as it was supposed to. It's still a disaster.
Well,
still
we were
chaotic
anticipating
mess.
it being very bad.
We were. It's supposed to be 10 to 15 foot surge, which would have basically washed my house away. Yours too. We would have had no homes, nothing. I would have nothing left.
So true.
So then my second piece of advice is don't move into a floodplain like we did. That's really dumb. Have your house.
Too late for that.
Have a house where it's a flood zone, evacuation zone A.
So what is your plan now? Have you decided you're not going to stay there now? Is that it?
No, I'm selling that house and I'm moving to higher
Selling
ground.
the house.
Because I'm 62 years old now. Is that an owl over there? I think that's an owl in that tree. I'm 62 right up there in that tree. Look right up directly right between those two pines out there. There's looks like an owl. It's shaped like an owl.
Where?
In the tree. Anyway.
It's in the tree?
It's in the tree. It's on a limb. It's a big bird, and I think it's an owl. Hear him? He just squawked. He just made a noise. Oh. He's too big to be.
I've been hearing some strange sounds.
He's an owl,
night.
I think.
I don't see an owl there.
So anyway, I'm going to sell my house, and I'm going to move to higher ground, and I'm going to do that this year. I will not spend another hurricane season in that house. I'll move into some place that's just barely standing, which most of the houses I looked at in my price range, that's about what they are, barely standing. I don't know how it's going to go. I was hoping to find a small house that's really cute, but most of the houses I'm finding are not, even when they're really small, they're not very cute. They're kind of messed up inside. They need a lot of work. But I'm just going to keep looking,
Well, very well.
Till I find what I want.
I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
I'm moving. It's not even up for debate. I'm out of that location.
But I am tired of evacuating.
I read that you can build a tiny house out of concrete. You just find the lot and they'll build you a concrete tiny house, which is hurricane resistant. That sounds great to me because I wouldn't mind living in a tiny house. I stayed in a tiny house one time. You might have remembered from our Chattanooga chat.
That's right.
That we talked
cute.
about our tiny house, and it was marvelous.
It wasn't tiny, but it was...
It was pretty tiny, but it was perfectly livable and comfortable, and it was wonderful. I loved how small it was. It was cozy as it could be. And they had figured out very clever ways to add storage, and it was really, really well designed, and I thought I could definitely live in a place like this. I think smaller is better because you just feel there's no wasted space, You've just enough space for one person. How much space does one person need? I mean, my goodness.
I know.
I don't need a big 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I don't need all that. It's just more to take care of, and I don't need it.
Well, you have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath now. I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
I just need, I need is a 1-bedroom.
1,000 square feet is about all.
I just need a 1-bedroom.
And 1,000 square feet if you have a lot of stuff.
The little tiny house had a 1-bedroom, but it had a little loft where if you had a small guest, like children, they could sleep in the loft above, which is perfect. And they would love it because it's exciting to sleep in a tiny loft where you go up a ladder and you get to be in a low ceilinged area. It's cozy, it's fun. It's like camp, it's like having a fort.
I'm sure the kids would enjoy it.
They would love it.
But for how long?
I don't know, long enough. Anybody could sleep up there. It's not, if you had a guest who wasn't like really in bad shape, they could get up there. But do you really want a guest that's in bad shape?
No,
I don't know. You wouldn't want that because that's a liability to have somebody in bad shape come over.
It really is.
They fall, hurt themselves.
Did you enjoy this particular wine selection that you got?
It's all right. It was a gift wine. We're drinking a gift from Heather. She brought me. It's not very oaky.
No, it's not.
It's not bad. It's more like a Sauvignon Blanc than it is a Chardonnay. Even though it is a Chardonnay, it's more like it's light. It's a light.
It's certainly
Chardonnay.
no.
You know what it is? It's probably an unoaked Chardonnay.
Certainly no Divine Llama wine at all.
I missed the Divine Llama. Too bad you
volume
can't
of
do a panoramic of Mike's beautiful property.
Well, I can take some other shots and add to it.
But you haven't said much. You know, you've been on
I have been
edge,
saying
especially
stuff.
today. I feel like you've been on edge from the moment you walked up. I mean,
No,
woke up.
fine. I'm just ready to go home, I told you.
Why? Why are you so eager to get home?
Just to get back into routines and stuff
You
like
really
that.
like
I
routines,
yes, I
don't
do.
you?
I
Really
do.
enjoy being in a
I like.
rut.
Well, I got to get back to work too and all this stuff.
bet
You're
you-
working. I'm not. I think I'm not working.
I
while
would.
she's
I
in
would
there.
much prefer to be you and not have to work. And
Yeah,
just
but
be
you're
here,
getting a
enjoy
check.
I could
I'm
be
not.
playing my banjo.
You're getting a check.
I
I'm
could be
not.
playing Wii. I could be going shopping.
But
I
you
could
get
do all
paid
kinds
every
of
day.
things.
I don't. So
No,
I
you
don't
get
sell anything.
paid
I don't
when you
get
sell
paid.
something, you
Well,
get paid
yeah,
quite
and so I
nicely.
don't. Yeah, when that happens,
You
right
get paid
now.
more than I do.
Right now, I don't have anything to sell at the moment. So I might be getting some stuff here, which I need to get back
You say
for.
that, and then something always happens.
I know. It's just it's a
You
different.
worry about nothing.
Well, no, I'm worried because there's not a lot happening right now. And right now,
You'll be
after
happy.
this,
I did
it's going
notice
to be
my
a
house
little
took a
slower.
dive in value this last
It's
week on
temporary.
Zillow.
It's temporary.
I think it's because of the hurricanes,
It's
don't
temporary.
you think so?
I wouldn't worry about it. I'm
I
telling you,
hope so.
people.
You're right.
You heard even the governor. I don't agree with this idiot,
I don't agree with anything.
but I
he
will
says.
say the one thing he said that
He's
makes
just
sense.
saying that for PR purposes.
Well, but that's the only thing he said that makes sense is I know that people will continue to come to Florida. They will. People will always buy land,
Rich
especially
people.
near the
Rich
water,
people
and there's
will.
plenty of rich people.
Rich
Trust
people
me.
will. Rich
There's
people
plenty
will.
of
But
them.
the rest of us can't afford it much longer.
No, but we can sell to the rich
Getting
people,
too
and then we
expensive.
can move on. So I'm not concerned about the value of the property. I really am not. I stand by that 110%. 110%.
Who are you quoting there? Who are you quoting?
What's his name?
Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno from
He's making fun of Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno. He said he did everything 110%. He had a lisp.
He did, yes.
And it was always 110%. I know. I
He's
know
got a
he was
lisp,
deaf.
he was deaf.
But he also the way he said it. It was
probably-
always 110%.
That's not very nice. To make fun of people who are deaf.
Oh no, but Donald Trump can do it. He can make fun
Yeah,
of.
but you're no better than you do.
Oh my God.
This is a
Anyway,
beautiful
very well.
place.
It is lovely.
Tallahassee is a beautiful place with
It is
beautiful
nice.
people that I love. I have a lot of people here in Tallahassee I love very
Absolutely, I
much.
highly recommend it.
But I have a lot of people in Tampa I love very much. I miss the grandkids. I'm really sorry I
I
can't
knew
be
once
with
she
them.
started talking to the camera, she wouldn't be able to stop. Go ahead.
I miss the grandchildren very much.
Yes, I know, and that's the other thing about
You know,
leaving.
that's the thing. When I
Biggest
miss,
problem about leaving
if
that
they were
area.
here, they'd be bouncing off the walls, being silly, doing the crazy stuff they do.
Well, this would be great for them. They
But it'd
come
be
over
fun. We
here.
could be out here playing crazy eights with them, and I look forward to going back to North Carolina with them.
Well, the thing is,
I love being with them.
and that's the
I think
thing. If
they're
you
fun.
leave, that's why you got to stay in the area there because they're going to be there no matter what you do.
I know, but I got to get to higher ground. I cannot continue to live in a flood zone. I will not live in a flood zone. What kind of a stupid person says, yeah, I'm going to buy a house in a flood zone in Florida? It's surrounded by water.
We did.
Not me. I did
lot
it
of people do.
because I want to be near my daughter. But
Because it's a
my
question
daughter's
of
not near
it's a
there
risk.
anymore.
It's a question of risk. You think,
No,
well, it's not going to
it's not-
happen. Or it may
okay,
not
well,
happen.
it's a
Or I'll
big-
deal with that when it
Benny,
happens.
we just saw on the thing that, what was it, 71 of the 80 most risk-prone zip codes
I
are in
know,
Florida.
yeah.
And we're in one of them, I'm
Of course.
pretty sure.
And, look, no question about it.
So I don't want to be there anymore. That's
if you're
dumb.
in Zone A, you're going to be there.
Benny, it's dumb. That's dumb. Why would you do that? Unless you got a lot of money put away somewhere to pay for stuff, why would you buy a house that's prone to risk from flooding? That's dumb. I'm selling it to some other dumb person who wants to live there. I'm not living there anymore. I'm going to go place somewhere higher ground.
Very well, Lassie.
Period. I don't normally do such foolhardy things as that, but I was motivated
Well, Bridget
by
was living right
by
down the street.
emotion.
At the time, Bridget lived right
I was
down the street.
motivated
That
by
was the
my
plan.
emotions, and I'm normally not. I'm normally motivated by safety.
Mhm.
You know that. I like security. I like safety. I
Oh,
like
yes.
stability. It's very important to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a person that likes to take risks.
Uh-huh.
I like to, be logical about things. Young Ferguson said I was the most logical woman she'd ever met. I thought that was funny because I don't
Yeah.
know that I'm the most logical woman I've ever met, but I do like to be logical. I think, why not? Well, you want to go around being illogical, do stupid things that don't make sense? I mean, you should do things that make sense. Buying a home in an evacuation zone does not make sense. That's why it's an evacuation zone, because it's risky.
Yeah, but people are still going to keep buying them.
Yeah, well, they can. They can go right in. I don't want to be one of them.
Well, you'll just have to sell to one of them.
Let's hope. Anyway, are we done?
Yeah, so you're finishing that wine there?
I'm
and then
not
we can get
done yet, but I can finish it without being on
I
camera.
see.
I have to be on camera to finish my wine. I can do it without the camera.
Very well. All right. Well,
But I
can
wish
cut it
you
off.
could have gotten a picture of that owl. There was an
The
owl
I
over
don't see
there in
an
the
owl,
tree.
though. You keep
No,
talking
he's
about-
gone now. He was in between the
Well, it
two
would have been nice
pines.
if we could see him.
It was a I think it was an owl. I'm sure it was.
Just want you to stay where you are, handsome. That wasn't the idea.